What's going on, y'all? This is your boy, Edwin, back up in it with a new vid. Today, we're reviewing the Air Jordan 11 Low in the UNC colorway. Some people call them the Carolinas because Michael Jordan did play for Carolina in college. Doesn't really matter. I call them the UNCs. And let's just go ahead and get right into it. First up, brief history lesson. As you may know or may not know, the Air Jordan 11 originally came out in 1995. This is one of the OG colorways of that release right here. Obviously, these are a mid-top. This is a low top. Now, there was an Air Jordan 11 Low that did come out alongside these, but they look nothing like this. They were the Air Jordan 11 IE. So it was like low form, had the same midsole as the mid-top that you see here, but instead of having patent leather, like you see here, or like on here, you had cutouts and elephant print. They were called the IEs. So the patent leather Air Jordan 11 Low, which is what you see right in front of you, would not actually release until 2001. It came out in 8 original colorways, however only 7 of them actually released. It was the Varsity Reds, you had these as you see right in front of you, you had the Zens, you had there were 3 snakeskin colorways, and there was also a metallic silver colorway as well. That was in 2001. So technically speaking, for the OG heads out there, you can consider this an OG colorway, because when the Air Jordan 11 Low in patent leather form came out, this is one of those colorways that came with it. So that's neither here nor there. This would be the 3rd time that the shoe has come out. The 2nd time that the shoe is retro. The shoe first retro in 2017. So that's the last time we saw this model. And then, what are we, 8 years later, 7 years later? Now we have the Air Jordan 11 UNC or UNC retroed again for the 2nd time, but this is the 3rd time it's ever came out. So it came out in 2001, retroed in 2017. We are now in the year 2026 of our Lord, retroed again. So 2 retros with 3 releases. Let's kind of dive deeper into the review itself. In terms of the sneaker, the build quality, that's kind of where I usually go after I give you guys that brief history lesson. So in terms of the actual material of the sneaker, what we have here is a patent leather. So that's all the blue that you see right here. Patent leather, for those of you who don't know or may not know, is just kind of like that shiny finish that we put over the leather. And as far as the actual materials, more specifically, so the patent leather is actually a genuine leather. So it's not a synthetic like we would have seen on the 2015 version of the 72 and 10 Jordan 11s that came out. The patent leather on those, while it was real cool, had like kind of like that sparkle effect, that did use a synthetic leather. This is not. You can kind of see the grain on the border, so if you kind of look at the edge where like the material kind of like stops, you can see the fibers in there. Obviously, you might not be able to see it on this angle. I'll do my due diligence and make sure I get to that angle later. But yeah, you can see the fibers in there, so the patent leather is genuine. The white leather that you see up here though, that is where things are kind of different. So we have a leather upper as well. Typically on Jordan 11s, you have like that mesh. That's kind of why I keep these here, like, you know, for comparison's sake. You have that ballistic style mesh or Cordura mesh, you know, whatever you want to call it, nylon or however, you know, whatever you call it, it's fine, I don't really care. But to me, it's just ballistic style mesh. And for the lows on this particular one, they ended up switching that to a leather. This is a synthetic leather though. This is not genuine. So the blue part, genuine. This white part is fake leather, it's not real. So RIP to the cat that died for this part. You know, moment of silence for him actually. Appreciate you. Anyway, and then like I said, the white parts are synthetic. You can kind of tell because you're not gonna be able to see this on this angle. Like I said, I got you later. The leather's kind of rolled over, so where you would normally see that fiber, you don't see anything because, you know, usually when Nike gives you that fake leather, they kind of roll over it, so you don't see any fibers. So that's pretty much how that goes with that. But yeah, materials, I like them. The patent leather is really nice. It's nice and soft as well, so it's not gonna like give you those weird indented type of creases that you would see when it's a real stiff leather. That stiff leather does take longer to crease. But when it does finally crease, it just looks deformed and demented. And it's like, yo, I think your shoe is possessed, son. I don't think you should be wearing those no more. But when you have a softer leather, you know, the creases, they come faster, but it's just more natural. You know what I mean? It's just a nice little, you know what I mean? Like it ain't like, the shoe is still perfectly nice and wearable, and it still looks good. So I do like that about that. You probably can tell I have worn the shoe once, a little family gathering. So the shoe was worn one time, forgive me. Don't, throw pitchforks in the comments. Not that I get that many views anyway. As far as the midsole is concerned, it is a Phylon midsole. You do have a full-length air unit that does run from the heel all the way to the forefoot around this area right here. That's usually where the airbag typically stops. As far as the insole is concerned, we do have a Dream Cell insole. Real nice, like, top lining though, I will say. Some people don't like the Dream Cells, they wish they were polyurethane. I do like the polyurethane insoles as well. I might be talking gibberish to you, so if I am, forgive me, but the insole itself is real nice and soft. It's not the best in the world, but it's better than the stuff we used to get, if you were around the sneaker game about like 8-10 years ago. Those was paper thin nonsense. It was giving us pool table material. I don't know what they was doing, but this is just real nice. So not the nicest, but nice enough. On the inside of the shoe, you see that gray area. That right there, I believe Nike calls it pour-on, but it's just another kind of soft, foamy thing. Really adds to that step-in comfort. And then directly underneath that pour-on is that full-length air unit that I was just mentioning. So you can feel it. The cushion on this shoe is very, very comfortable, very, very nice. It's actually a lot more comfortable than the 2019 Reds that did come out 7 years ago. So, I mean, I don't know, for whatever reason, the midsole on the Bread 11 is just real firm, real stiff, the foam that they use. And for some even weirder reason, my left shoe on the Bread is softer than my right. So this one is just hard as rocks, you know what I mean? And you do feel that. Whereas this one, it's just a little bit softer. But even with that little bit of extra softness, these just blow it out of the water. These are just ridiculously soft. And it really feels like you're walking on top of a nice supportive pillow. Real good cushion here, real nice foam that they put in there in terms of the density. So that's great. You do have that carbon fiber over here. It's called a spring plate. That's what they called it back in the day. And it's supposed to spring back into shape, when you're stepping. So kind of that's what that full-length carbon fiber is there for. A lot of people don't know that. It's also arch support as well. So for those of y'all who need arch support, you got that right here. That blue and black checker. That is UNC blue. And you do have those icy bottoms. If you hate the icy bottom, I really don't know what to tell you. It's on there, so you might have to just go ahead and get over it. But honestly, I dig it. The shoe is super fire. Another thing I wanted to mention when it comes to the materials and the build of the sneaker is that even though this is using a synthetic leather upper, in terms of around the top of your foot, the benefit is that since it's not using that ballistic mesh that you would normally see on the Concord 11s, for example, this doesn't yellow. That mesh will yellow. The only part of the sneaker that you really gotta worry about yellowing, aside from the icy bottoms, which you guys all know, would be the nylon strands. Those will yellow a little bit. I have seen photos of original 2001 UNC 11 lows, and even though that's the only part that yellows, it's not even that bad, you know what I mean? So this shoe will hold up for a real long time, and I think that's kind of a thing where you really get your money's worth because you can wear this shoe for years to come, you know what I mean? Another thing that people sometimes care about, I actually am one of those people that care a lot, is heel drag. So kind of when you have a shoe for a long time, the bottom of it gets all, smoothed out, which actually is usually the wearer's fault, skill issue. You shouldn't drag your feet at all when you walk. Make sure you're picking your feet up and walking like you're supposed to. A lot of y'all walk real lazy, so when you walk, you kind of just, you kind of slide your foot a little bit, especially on concrete. If you just pick your foot up like you're supposed to, you'll usually avoid heel drag for a long time. Not forever, but 7, 5, 6 years down the line, the shoe will look real good on the bottom. But the rubber is real nice and firm, so I've never really had a problem with any heel drag on Jordan 11s. For the people who I have seen with Jordan 11s, it's kind of funny because their whole bottom be all smooth and bald, and it's what happens to the attraction, bro? You out here moonwalking or something? I don't know what the fuck going on, but yeah, I don't have any heel drag on my Bread 11s either. So yeah, if you pick up your feet like you're supposed to, it'll last you a while. But the rubber is real firm. That's the part I was getting at. So that's kind of a good thing about shoes from the 90s, that they're usually built tough. The patent leather, while it is soft, it is tough. Back to just the overall durability of the sneaker. When it comes to the patent leather, which is the blue sections of the shoe, from a durability standpoint. So we talked about the quality part. Now we're gonna dig in more into a little bit of the durability, kind of like we did with the bottom of the sneaker. When it comes to the patent leather, durability wise, it is gonna hold up very, very well for you. It is a little bit on the softer side, but it is tough, meaning like it's resilient. If you just walk around and wear your sneaker like normal people, you know what I mean? It's going to last you plenty of time. The problem is that some of you guys, I don't know what y'all do. I don't know if y'all scrape the bottom of your shoes on the ground. You know, I wear my shoes real quick, and then I put them on. I don't know what you guys got going on, but if you wear your shoes like a normal person, even if you wear them regularly, they're gonna last you quite a hell of a long time. This is the other sneaker, in case maybe you thought I only had one of them. I'm out here hopping. I'm out here playing IHOP in real life. But yeah, this is the other one, kind of like how I do it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not even sure how I wanna lace them yet. I got them both laced differently. And yeah, I had them on just like this. Just like that yesterday. So, yeah. I believe they dropped April 19th, April 18th. Retail price was $195. This is just a shoe that you can just wear every day. Like I mentioned earlier. Me personally, I kind of work in like a semi-office type of job. So like, I could literally just wear these shoes every day. They'll be perfectly fine for years to come, months, however long. Currently right now, my everyday sneaker is the Air Jordan 4 Military. Pretty much matches everything I'm wearing. I mean, there's a little bit of blue on it, that's fine. My company does have a lot of blue in it, so it's perfect for that. This shoe also, again, has a lot of blue, so it's gonna be great to wear at work. If you grab a pair, definitely let me know what y'all think. If you do see this video, I don't get a lot of views, so the chances of that are very minimal. But yeah, let me go ahead and get y'all a few on feet looks, and we out of here. Make sure you like and subscribe, man, appreciate it.